Welcome to our Barn Division final matchup between the Ringers and the Bulldawgs. The Ringers are the purple jerseys, and the Bulldawgs are in white. Just waiting on our second official here before we get ready. Bulldawgs earned their entry as a second place seed coming out of the round robin for the Barn Division, while the Ringers finished fifth. They were able to upset the fourth place team in their quarterfinal this morning, and followed that up with a win against the top seed Canadian Buds in their semifinal matchup. So the Bulldawgs wearing white will be going from our right to our left in the first and third periods, while the Ringers will be going from the left to right in their purple uniforms. Our officials are ready. And the ball is dropped to start the game in the Barn Division Finals. Archambault tracks that down in the corner as Gibbons lends the pressure for the Ringers. Blanco puts it in deep. Green forces his man. And ball is cleared up to Green. Archambault tracks down behind his net, takes a look, over to Ferrucci. Ferrucci decides he's going to curl back into the zone. Shot on the net by Johnstone, just tips off of the goaltender's pads and in the corner. Miller comes out with speed, gains speed through the neutral zone, chips it in. And he's been guarded there. And he turns and fires. As Gibbons for the Ringers is able to find that ball, curl out from behind the net, and fire that up and over top of the goaltender for the 1-0 lead. One nothing Ringers with an early advantage here in our Barn Division Finals. Ball goes back to Woods. Woods chips it up. It's that ball over. I believe that was Hemingway. Chips in laterally. Looks for Heaslip. Heaslip back into the corner. Strike gives chase. Stride looks out in front, unable to make the connection with Heaslip. Archambault up to Lewis. Lewis tried to spring his man, unable to make that connection. Straight up to the blue line. Archambault stops and gets a shot from distance as that goes wide. Woods carries it up. Chips that in deep. Archambault. Back puts that up to Jake Archambault. Unable to make the connection. And Strite stops that. Gets a shot in. Heaslip follows up on that rebound. Gets a shot over top of the net. 7:24 remaining in the first period. 1-0 on the early lead. Early goal follows up on that rebound. Gets a shot over top of the net, giving the Ringers a 1-0 advantage. Face off one by straight for the Ringers. Puts that over. That ended up back on Kolenko's stick as he tried to find Hemingway. Johnstone with the pass up, unable to make the connection with Ferrucci, who was cutting through the middle. Miller into his defensive zone, takes a look, back over to Kolenko. Kolenko takes a look, finds Straight up through the middle. Straight chips that in. Hemingway gives chase into the corner. Loses that though to Niko Kozic. Johnstone fakes the shot, able to get that over to Ferrucci. And Kozic had just unable to hold that line. Johnstone faked him out. So we have an offside play. A face-off coming just outside the zone of the Ringers. Offside play at the line as Gauthier tried to find one of his players cutting through the middle. I believe that was Ruzic, but they had not gained the line at that point. Gauthier puts that in. Kolenko is able to stop that. Hands it off to Kane. Kane tried to put it through the middle. Toe drag. Archambault just claimed another victim. Kolenko up to Green. Green tries to get that shot. Gauthier able to block it. Archambault tracks it, but put that on the tape of Green. Into Kane. Kane with a big shot. Kane is a player with a big shot. Not the guy you want to give that to in the slot, but nice. Nice for the Bulldogs was their defensive effort as they were able to block that. Gauthier puts a long shot that was difficult for Kane, the goaltender, to follow. Archambault has Green on top of him. Decides to go behind the back over to Rusic. Rusic has that deflected up high. Teammate goes and grabs it. Kane unable to get away from Kuehl. Made a defensive play and brought that back out of the end. Miller behind his own net. Being harassed by Rusic, but Miller's able to come out with speed. Gains the blue line through the wickets of Kuehl, but it is frozen by Bruni, the goaltender for... Miller's able to come out with speed. Gains the blue line through the wickets of Kuehl, but it is frozen by remaining in the first period of our Barn Division finals. The Barn Division is a division that cannot have any rated players, whether open or intermediate rated players on those teams. Now, as you may, if you watched our last game, you'll notice that there are a couple players from the Bulldogs who were playing on the Punishers. However, they were appealed players and are still rec status at this time. Predominantly the younger players on the team. Kolenko puts it around the boards to himself. Looking out for Green on the wing. Green's unable to get that out. Kozic in. Johnstone with another shot. Puts that just wide. Kuehl uses the boards. Gets that to Ferrucci. Ferrucci takes a look. Trying to pull that in on his forehand. Unable to do so. And Gibbons is able to just send that deep. But it does go right to Bruni, canceling the icing. Johnstone and Miller. And Johnstone throws a punch at Miller. Miller wants nothing to do with it. So, we see what our penalties are here. I believe Miller is getting one. I'm not sure what happened to start that. It was behind the play for us. So our camera wasn't able to get that action. Miller doesn't seem to be arguing his penalty in any way. So it looks like there's a 4-minute advantage, or sorry, 4-minute penalty going to the Bulldogs and a 2-minute penalty going to the Ringers. Ball into the corner. Straight. Up to Kane. Kane coming in with speed. Gets around his defender. Kuhl chases him down in the corner. Up to Kozic. Kozic. Defended by Woods. Woods still on Kozic. Kozic trying to come around the... Sneaks that out short side. Unable to make connection with a teammate. Back to Kuhl. Kuhl got that into Ferrucci. Ferrucci looked in front, but unable to make the connection with Kozic. Straight makes the play on the boards to get away from his man. Straight takes the shot, just misses that blocker side high on Bruni as there's a little bit of net there. Ferrucci out of the zone. Kane knocks that up to Woods. Woods walks up just past the red line. Straight takes a shot. Bruni has trouble with that one as he gloved it. Straight looks to have taken a bit of a shoulder on that play. Pass from Lewis. Shot coming from the defenseman on the Bulldogs. Lewis with another shot, unable to make the connection. And Heaslip chases that in deep. Heaslip finds Woods. Woods finds Kane. Kane back to Kolenko. Kolenko gets a shot. Unable to make the connection on goal. Shot put back on net. Heaslip. Over to Kolenko. Kolenko in from his defensive position in a 4-on-4. Kane with the shot. I apologize. It is a power play now at this point for the Ringers. As the first 2 minutes has been served by Miller. Shot on net by Kane is saved by Bruni. Over to Gauthier. Gauthier with the shot down the floor. Kolenko takes a look. Gonna put that shot in. Heaslip follows it. Able to try to get that, able to get to Gibbons, but Gauthier wins that defensively. Archambault uses the fence, gets it to the point. Good support from his forward, able to get that out. Forward was Halderson. Halderson with a nice play to relieve that zone. Archambault puts a shot in from his own blue line that goes wide of the net, and Kolenko's going to slow it down. 50 seconds remaining in the power play, a minute 24 in the first period. Gauthier gets that loose ball, but has it go off of Hemingway's shins. Hemingway takes a look, can't connect with Gibbons in front. Archambault is tracking that down. Kane comes out to play it over to Kolenko. Kolenko goes up the boards, but Halderson able to make that interception. Curls back to his forehand. Has two men on him. Archambault back around the net. Gibbons in a battle with Archambault. Miller able to get that out. Kolenko looks up the floor. Can't connect with Hemingway. Kuhl wins that battle with Gibbons in the corner, able to get the ball out. Johnstone is out from his time in the box. And he's aggressive on Kolenko in the corner. Gibbons comes back to lend some support. Miller carries up the floor, chips it by Kozic. A bit of a scrambly play here. Neither team's able to gain much advantage. Kolenko goes back behind the net. Gibbons decides to take that shot, and the icing will coincide with the buzzer. We have a 1-0 lead here for the Ringers over the Bulldawgs following the first period in our Barn Division Championship matchup. Number 2 seeded Bulldawgs versus the number 5 seeded Ringers coming out of the 10-team Barn Division round robin. Barn Division is new to BHI and the All-Ontario Cup this year. Barn Division is a 0-rated player division, so players cannot be intermediate rated or open rated and play in the division. All-Ontario Cup is a tournament program that consists of 4 preliminary tournaments throughout the 2015 calendar year. First is the spring teaser, hosted here in BHI St. Catharines. Second is the April Fools, hosted by BHI London. Third, Jumpstart Jammer, hosted by BHI Welland. And the fourth is the September Shootout, hosted by BHI Brantford. Final, this Weekend of Champs, as hosted here by BHI St. Catharines, is the culminating event, and it has the second place and first place finishers from any of those preliminary events who receive an invite to come to the Weekend of Champs. Woods coming out of his own zone with speed, put it over to Strite. Strite was looking to go back to Gibbons, unable to make that connection. Giacobetti boxes his player out. Woods gets a shot on net. Saved by Bruni. Green goes back in his own zone, puts it up the floor to Strite. Woods tries to make that connection with Strite, just unable to do so. Giacobetti taking a look, puts that across the floor, and Kozic is able to get that shot on, turned away by Kane. Nice pass by Ferrucci, who kicked that over to Kozic, but he's unable to get a shot off on that with that bouncing ball. Kane able to win that race with Kuhl. Kane maintains possession of the ball, looks for Green in front, and Bruni able to find that loose ball, put the big mid on that, and freeze it. Giacobetti taking a look, puts that across the floor, and Kozic. Giacobetti. Archibald is going to lean in for the draw against Kane. Kane wins that draw. Miller winds up, takes a shot, blocker saved by Bruni. Archambault able to gain possession in the defensive zone. Chip that up off the boards, but Kolenko kept that in. Comes out, Lewis winds up, has that blocked by Miller at the blue line. Miller pushes Lewis off the ball, but Gauthier able to support, carries it out, only to have that knocked off his stick by Heaslip, who knocks it into the offensive zone. Archambault being chased by Heaslip behind his net, gets the ball up the floor to Lewis. Lewis chips up the boards to Archambault. Archambault coming in with speed on Miller, decides to slow it up, turn around, gets the slap shot off, and the rebound falls right in front as Halderson able to spin and whack that out of the air for the tying goal. The boards to Archambault. Archambault coming in with speed on Miller. Archambault decides to slow it up, turn around, gets the slap shot off, and the rebound falls right in the air, whacks it in, and we have a 1-1 tie. 7:28 remaining in the second period of the Barn Division final between the Ringers in purple and the Bulldawgs in white. Ball tracked down by Gibbons. Gibbons chips it in and tries to go around Giacobetti. Giacobetti looks to have Looks to rub Gibbons into the boards. And Gibbons is cut. So after our injury timeout, face-off is coming outside the Bulldog zone. Gibbons for the Ringers is getting his cut situation taken care of. Giacobetti has that ball deflected. Big shot by Kane. Ends up in as I think Streit is able to tap that loose ball in, as Kane, who has a huge shot as we saw in the semifinal, was able to wind up, get that shot off on Bruni, and just unable to control it. So as we see here, Streit deflected over. Big shot by Kane. Bruni's unable to find it, and I don't know if Streit actually tapped that in or if it just rolled in off of Kane's original shot. But either way, we have a 2-1 lead for the Ringers. 7:01 remaining in the second period. Johnstone puts that ahead for himself. Up to Streit by Kuhl. Makes a nice play at the red line to keep that in. Green up to Streit. Giacobetti takes that out on the backhand. Kane takes that away behind the net, looks out in front, unable to make a connection with any of his players. Ferrucci goes back to Kuhl. Ferrucci. Nice connection with Kozic. Knocked away by Miller. Ferrucci keeps that in. Back to Kalenko. Kuhl corral that ball. Gets that deep for Johnson. Johnson can't get that through Kane. Kane just flips that. Archambault tracks down, no icing. Archambault's going to go backhand this time. Has that intercepted by Woods. Green to Kane. Kane has that deflected wide by Archambault. Woods. Actually, sorry, that was Heaslip. Unable to get that in front. Heaslip carries in behind the net. Archambault. Looks like and it appears to be a call on the Ringers. Oh, and it's evened up. So, not sure what our calls are, but they're going to be 2 apiece for Bulldawgs.
It's a hit from behind the first one.
First. So the evened up. Heaslip and Archambault both to sit for 2. 5:23 remaining in the second period. 2-1 Ringers with the lead over Bulldawgs in the Barn Division Finals. Cool. Carries out. Takes a look up the floor. And that ended up directly on the goaltender, Kane, who decides to hold that for the whistle. 5:14 remaining in the second period. Face-off coming to the left of Kane, the Ringers goaltender. Archambault to square off against Kane. Archambault wins that draw. Kozic gets that back to Gauthier. Yeah, in return to Kozic. Kozic has a shot block. Archambault with a slap shot just inside the blue line, has that go wide. Ball goes back to Kuhl. Kuhl winds up, gets a shot again wide of the net. Woods puts that out off the fence. It'll be able to be corralled by Rusic into Archambault. Archambault has that knocked away by Kane. Up to Hemingway. Hemingway tried to find Streit, who is springing out of the zone, but has that deflected, and it's up and into the roof. 4:41 remaining in the second period. 2-1 is the lead for the Ringers in purple versus Bulldawgs in white, our Barn Division Finals. Draw one by the Bulldawgs. No zone. Kane tried to chip that ahead. Unable to do so. Hemingway can't get the ball. Lewis does, but it is a glove pass. Archambault and Kane again will meet in the face-off circle. Streit puts it ahead to himself. Kuhl grabs the ball up the boards to Lewis. Lewis fakes the shot. Look to go across. Just missed that ball. Woods over to Streit. Streit misses the one-time opportunity. There's a delayed offside. Kuhl back to get it. Has it deflected. Ends up right on Kane, who's going to hold that for the whistle for the face-off, which will go to the left Kuhl of his net. Back to get it. Remaining in the second period. Has it deflected. Ends up right on Kane, who's going to hold that for the whistle. Face-off won by the Bulldawgs. Setting up a shot by Giacobetti. Unable to get that on net. Kuhl makes a pass up over to Alderson, who gets it in deep. Giacobetti now, as the ball is returned out of the zone, he just shovels that in. Woods chases it down behind his net. Takes a look out. Able to chip that up the boards. Kane banking it around Giacobetti. Miller gives chase. Comes into the corner with Kuhl. And Kane Gets a shot away, has that deflected in front, ends up on Miller's stick, who swipes at the backhand and puts that in for the third goal of the game for the Ringers. Take a look here. Original shot by Kane. Comes in, Miller just tracks that down, finds it on his backhand, is able to slide in the empty cage. 3-1 is the lead for the Ringers, 3:26 remaining in the second period. Gauthier up the boards to Lewis. Gain zone, has that return, Green puts it in deep. Giacobetti back to get it for Bulldogs. Looks up the middle of the floor to Archambault. No connection, but Kane comes out to play it. Kalenko back to his defensive partner. Woods has that deflected. And Gauthier tracks it down behind his end. Hemingway. Unable to get that ball. Harleston puts a slap shot low in on Kane. Kane makes the save and deflects it out of play. Face-off coming to the right of his net. 2:48 remaining in the second period. 3-1 lead for the Ringers. Kozic wins that draw cleanly off of right. Point shot by Gauthier deflects and then ends up off the post. Chipped out by Hemingway. Miller gives chase. No icing on the play. Miller tried to get that to his open man in front. He slipped, but nice stick made by Gauthier to knock that out. Shot by Johnson. Deflects wide. Miller. Sorry, that was Kalenko with the pass up the boards to Streit. Archambault with a quick up to Kozic. Kozic looks over to Ferrucci. Ferrucci winds up, takes the shot, goes wide of the net. Kozic look to put that back to Archambault. Archambault tracks it down, able to get that in on net or in towards the net. Has it deflected, but Ferrucci won that back over to Kozic. And the goal by Johnson as he was being guarded by Miller, but reached over and across the goaltender, able to whack that into the open side of the net. Or in towards the net. Look here, has it deflected. Ferrucci makes a nice play over to Kozic. Won that back over to Kozic. And goal. Johnson decides he's diving for that ball and he whacks it into the open cage. We have a 3-2 game. Ringers leading the Bulldogs with 1:49 remaining in the second period. Draw goes to Bulldogs. Giacobetti unable to make the connection with Lewis. Giacobetti stops it at the blue line, or red line, sorry. Yeah, and finds Archambault, who gets a wrist shot in from just inside the blue line. Unable to make the connection with Lewis. Minute 30 seconds, stops it at the blue line, or red line, sorry. Bit of a scrambly play there. Ball ended up in on Kane. Kane finds it and takes the whistle again. Archambault and Kane again in the circle. Kalenko has Lewis all over him. Kalenko able to kick that over to Kane. Kane finds Heaslip. Heaslip backhands that out. Kane giving chase on Archambault. Archambault spins back the other way, able to exit the zone. Heaslip reached in, made that play. Kane takes a look across for Streit, unable to make that connection. Streit looking for Heaslip, can't get it to him. Kalenko pinched in and backhanded that up towards the boards. Lewis finds himself an opening, gets that pass across, and Ruzic was able to get the shot off, but Kane made the save. 34 seconds remaining in the second period. In the second period of our Barn Division final. Ringers in purple, Bulldogs in white. Bulldogs able to clear the zone. Ferrucci in tight on Kolenko. Kolenko able to make a nifty little between the legs move to get out. Kane walks around Gauthier, gets a wrist shot, but it's saved by Bruni. Turns out of side and puts it in the corner. Gauthier fires it up high. Kolenko able to glove that down. Tries to keep it in, able to do so. Kane with the ball, only 3 seconds left. Gauthier gets a nice stick in and cancels that opportunity out to end the second period as we finish the second period with between the legs
a
move
3-2
to get out.
score.
The Ringers
Kane
have the advantage. Gauthier gets a wrist shot, but it's saved. 10 minutes remaining in the third period now as we're going to start for our Barn Division. 10 minutes of regulation time, I should say, for our inaugural season of our Barn Division here at BHI in the All-Ontario Cup, as brought to you by Bauer. Bauer is our title sponsor. Be sure to pick up your Bauer ball hockey products at any BHI or Bauer authorized reseller. All the broadcasts for this weekend and live streaming have been brought to you by Stick Skills. Stick Skills is a ball hockey lifestyle brand specializing in custom teamwear, from jerseys to hoodies, shorts, hats, you name it. We've got it. And we're also looking for your ball hockey related content, whether it's videos, pictures. Share it with us on our social media streams, Facebook, Twitter, or directly contacting us through our website, stickskills.com. 10 minutes remaining in the third period. Face-off goes back to the Ringers' end. Kane decides he's going to play that to Woods. Woods takes a look, looks up for straight, unable to make that connection, so we're going to come back on the icing. 11 seconds have run off the clock here to start the third period. Kozic wins that draw. You got that back to Gauthier. Archambault gets a shot off, missing the net just wide on the blocker side. Woods chips that past his man. Archambault's going to track that back down in his defensive end. He has straight on top of him. Archambault uses his partner Gauthier. Gauthier takes a look up the floor, makes a connection with Kozic. Kozic has that pushed away by Woods. Green walks in, takes a shot, and has that deflected by Archambault and out of play. Face-off coming down deep into the Bulldogs' end with Kozic. Kozic has that pushed away by Woods. Green walks in, takes a shot, and has that deflected by Archambault. Bit of a late change here for the Ringers, but Heaslip is coming in to take the draw against Kozic. Draw goes to the Bulldogs as Ferrucci's able to get that winger win. Can't settle the ball down though. Heaslip gets it, puts it on net. Bruni makes the save, but he doesn't know where the ball is. Comes to Johnson. Johnson winds up, takes a shot, goes in wide of the net. Woods up the boards. Had it batted out of the air by Kuehl, but it was the referees determined it was past the red line. Bulldogs back. Giacomello. Giacometti, I apologize, puts it in. Green takes a look, going to use the boards, puts it up in the fence, and that's going to result in no icing as the referee determined that Johnson could have made it back in time. Kuehl up to Ferrucci. Has that intercepted, and Heaslip lets a shot go over top of Bruni. Ball ended up into the roof. Has that intercepted, and Heaslip lets a shot go over top of Bruni. 8:22 remaining in the third period. 3-2 is the score. Ringers in the lead. versus the Bulldogs. Ringers in purple, Bulldogs in white. Straight, leans in, take the draw against Archambault. He wins that forward. Kane again possesses that big shot. Wound up and took it, but it ended up over top of the net. Face off outside Bulldogs end. Straight's going to remain in to take this draw again, as it looks like they're trying to set up a shot play to Kane. Ball comes back to Kalenko. Kalenko chips that, plays it ahead with the glove. Knocked down by Archambault. Stick was under the shoulders, no high stick. Woods with the pass up to Streit. Referee determined that that Streit did make contact with it, no ice. Kane winds up, takes a shot, has that blocked by Archambault. Kalenko gonna go backhand, but has that stopped by Ruzic. Hemingway out of the zone, keeps going with speed. Tried to get that over to Streit, unable to do so. Colabetti has that go off of Streit's legs. Kane with a big shot again, has that saved by Bruni. Bruni challenged that really well. He came a good 4 feet out of his crease on that shot, take away the angle. Kane intercepts it from Colabetti once again, gets a shot in just wide of the net, glove side. Halderson and Ruzic come in for the Bulldogs, unable to win that ball though, as Streit puts it in deep. Archambault is going to come back and lend some support, put it up around the boards to Colabetti. Colabetti takes his time coming up through the neutral zone, fires it in on the goaltender, and Kane's going to just squeeze that and take the draw to his left. 6:56 remaining in the third period. 3-2 is the score, with the Ringers in the lead. Bulldogs have a wholesale change, coming out with a new set of D-men and new forwards. Ringers stayed with the same line. Gauthier over to Archambault. Archambault tried to make the connection with Gozic, unable to do so. Ferrucci intercepted the clearing attempt and then got a slap shot off himself quickly, and they're able to make the save. We have a bit of fogginess issue with our camera here. Sorry about that, folks.
Are we out of focus or is the lens dirty?
So Miller tracking it down. Miller looks for Kane. Kane winds up. Big shot wide of the net. Green tracking it down in the Bulldogs' end. Ferrucci goes behind Archambault. Archambault going to take a look. Going to go back to Ferrucci behind the net. Ferrucci lets that go. He's going to track that down as Gauthier allowed Ferrucci to come get that ball. Attempted pass. Tipped by Woods. Woods back in his own end. Kalenko tried to go back to Woods, but Kozic read that play, was able to intercept it and get an opportunity in out front, and Kane made a nice save. Woods squeezing the wickets, not allowing that ball. Kalenko tried to go back to Woods, but this game remains 3-2. Read that play, was able to intercept it and get an opportunity. As the Ringers decide that they're going to make an offensive change of all the forwards, and now one of the defensemen's coming out late. They have that advantage, earning the home seed. Alderson keeps that in at the red line. Archambault pressured by Heaslip. Heaslip now with the ball in the neutral zone, taking a look. Finds Hemingway. Hemingway cross floor to Streit. Streit into the corner. Taking a look. Finds Heaslip. Heaslip shot that blocker side. He had a bit of net there too, just unable to find the point that he wanted that to get to. Ball comes around to Archambault. Archambault up the boards, finds Lewis. Lewis going to take that slap shot. Kane read that curve nicely, as there's a lot of English on that shot from Lewis. Lewis cutting in. Nice little move to go outside. brings that around the net. Taking a look, surveys the scene, back to Halderson. Halderson being pressured by Woods. Woods unable to get that ball. Nice save as Archambault got a nice low shot off, and there was a glove save made by Kane to keep that 1-goal lead. Straight to Heaslip. Heaslip slows this down, takes a look, tries to find Strike, get into the back door, unable to make that connection. Straight back to Woods. Woods finds Heaslip. Heaslip gets a shot wide of the net, going glove side. Archambault up to Lewis. Lewis chips it around Woods. Woods regains defensive posture. And Lewis tried to make a play around Kane, but Kane got low and took that play away. Ball was tipped. No ice. Giacobetti to Cool. Up to Ferrucci. Ferrucci tipped that in. And unable to make the connection. So let's take a look at this save. Surveys the scene. Back to Halderson again. Being pressured by Woods. Woods unable to get that ball. That up and nice save. Kane's able to follow that through the maze of people and get his glove on it to keep this a 3-2 lead for the Ringers. 3:52 remaining in the third period of their Barn Division Finals. Ringers in purple, Bulldogs in white. Kuhl keeps that in right on the line. Johnstone over to Kozic. Miller chips it in. He's going to follow it with speed. Takes a look. Slows it down. Coming back up towards the half boards. Looking to curl in on Colabetti. Unable to do so. Gets a forehand shot off. And then Green turned around and whacked the ball out of the air and then forced Bruni to make a very acrobatic save. Ball up to Kane. Kane pressured by Kuhl, unable to gain zone. Kozic chips it in past his defender, Woods, who gives chase. Over to Johnson. Johnson tries to get that deep to Kozic, unable to do so. Kane steps in to try and assist on Johnson. Johnson got a nice shot off. Had that save. Gets to Ferrucci. Ferrucci winds up, takes a shot, and able to tie this game up as he solves Kane. Not much you can. Not much Kane can do. So Kane steps in to try and shot, assist on, makes the save. Johnson tries to swipe it out. Actually swiped it out himself. Had that Ferrucci and gave Ferrucci just a great opportunity from the high slot to wind up and looking to curl in on Colabetti, unable to do so. Gets a forehand shot. Tie. Goche to Lewis. Lewis takes the shot, puts that wide. Polanco tracks it down. Halderson lending pressure. Polanco in the corner. Polanco and Lewis. Kane tries to get that out, unable to do so. Polanco comes back in his zone. Has Lewis all over him. Green decides it's time just to get that ball out. And he shot that hard, about 3 feet off the ground, and Goche let that go for an icing wisely, as Mr. Mo has definitely swung in the favor of the Bulldogs, and unable to do so. Kane steps in to try and assist on Johnson. Johnson got a nice shot off. Trying to encourage his teammates to get that next goal. Archambault with the draw to Jeff Archambault, who gets the shot off but has that blocked by Kane. Woods clears out, puts it ahead to Green. Green being marked up by Archambault. Green loses that to Lewis. Lewis tried to find Halderson with speed through the middle, unable to make that connection. Halderson gives chase on Kane. Strike clears the ball past Goche. Archambault cross floor to Lewis, unable to make that pass. Polanco gonna get that long shot off on Bruni. No issue there as it went wide of the net. Archambault comes back, finds Goche. Goche up to Halderson. Halderson's gonna chip that and go for a change. Polanco up the boards to Woods. Woods across the floor to Green. Green's gonna glove that, put it down, finds Kane. Kane's the man they want to shoot. Kane tries to make a play around Giacobetti, unable to do so as Giacobetti held his ground. Green's going to glove that, put it down, finds Kane. Kane's the man they want to shoot. Kane tries to make a play around. No call on the play. Minute 17. Good hockey play. Giacobetti tried to hold his ground. Kane was making a play to go around, and no call. No ice as Woods was able to get back there, so the referee waved that off. Straight being marked up by Kozic. Straight tried to force that one. Kozic was able to ride him out. Ball goes to Archambault. Archambault finds Ferrucci. Ferrucci to Kuhl. Kuhl takes the shot. Saved by Kane. Woods taps that up the boards, but has it hit Archambault. Ends up back on Ferrucci's stick, who sent that just wide. Colabetti takes the shot. Saved by Kane. Nice low shot from the point. Able to sneak through, but Kane made the save in the butterfly. Kuhl steps up on a pinch. Keeps that in. Here comes Woods, and the Ringers coming back the other way with speed. No ice on that. Johnson decides he's going to flip that to gain some time. Kane waits for Streit. Kane with a shot, and Heaslip finds himself offside to Streit's just not able to get back in time. Kane wound up, Streit trying to race. Waits for Streit. Kane with a shot, made a big block, and Heaslip finds himself offside to Streit's just not able to get back this weekend. 13.9 seconds left in the third period. 3-3 tie between the Ringers and the Bulldogs in our Barn Division Finals here at the Weekend of Champs, brought to you by Bauer. Kane versus Archambault. They've met a number of times in the face-off dot already today. Draw goes to Heaslip. Heaslip tries to sneak forward. Can't get past the defenders. Woods puts that ball down to his stick, tried to chip it up to Kane, unable to do so as there's great defensive pressure coming from Halderson. Faceoff's going to be just outside the Ringers zone. Draw one by Archambault, back to Archambault. It's a last shot and save. So, championship game. This will come down to a continuous OT. Sudden victory. So, it'll be 10 minutes up on the clock. And first team to score will come away with the Barn Division Championship. Coming into this first overtime period, I have a feeling that the Ringers are going to have to score soon if they want to take this game, because the momentum has shifted drastically to the Bulldogs' favor here. If they're well, we'll see what they come out with. Ringers did have a great deal of the possession momentum early on in the game. I would say for the first two periods, it was predominantly Ringers on the attack, but the Bulldogs have come back strong in this third period. Draw one by Miller. Kane looks to put that deep. Ends up on Gauthier's stick. Gauthier looks for Lewis. Lewis going to get that shot off. Goes high and above the net. Kalenko gathers that in. Puts that up. Miller knocks it out of the air. Kane winds up, takes the shot. Gauthier blocks that. Kalenko and Lewis go into the corner. Woods up the boards. Hemingway unable to get that out. Gauthier going to walk into this one. Has it blocked by Kane. Woods and Halderson do battle in the corner. Hemingway's able to chip that pass to Archambault. Archambault comes back to get it. Lewis with a nifty little move around Kane. Again around Kalenko. And the shot in on goaltender Kane is saved. 56 seconds. 56 seconds have gone by here in our first overtime period in our Barn Division finals. Face-off coming to the right of the Ringers goaltender. Straight versus Kozic. Straight tries to go forward. Able to get that ball. Colabetti keeps it in. Ferrucci takes a shot, has that go wide. Kozic knocks that away from Woods. Woods ended up on the ground. Kane looked to make a game-saving play, but that ball just squeaked in. Kane dove across. Ferrucci able to make the connection on that cross-crease pass and tucks it in for the victory. And the Bulldogs are your Barn Division Weekend of Champs All-Ontario Cup champions with a 4-3 victory on a goal. Coming 1 minute and 12 seconds into the first overtime period. That away from Woods. Let's take a look at that again. Ferrucci, Kane looked to make a game-saving play, but may have just deflected in as he put that across. Let's take a look at that again. Maybe it's slower this time. So Kozic puts that across. Deflects. It may have deflected in off of Kalenko's foot, and Kane got a huge piece of that ball, but it just kept rolling in, and unable to stop that as it ends up just past the goal line. And your Bulldogs are your Barn Division champions in the 2015 All-Ontario Cup. Congratulations, Bulldogs. We will be back with our Rec Division matchup in the finals between BDB and the Sarnia Beavers.
Bauer is proud to be the title sponsor and official ball of the 2015 All-Ontario Cup. For over 80 years, Bauer has been a leader and innovator in ice hockey manufacturing. And now in 2015, Bauer is bringing that leading innovation to the ball hockey market as they introduce their new line of ball hockey design equipment. Take your game to the next level with Bauer. Bauer is proud to be the title sponsor and official ball of the 2015 All-Ontario Cup. For over 80 years, Bauer has been a leader and innovator in ice hockey manufacturing. And now in 2015, Bauer is bringing that leading innovation to the ball hockey market as they introduce their new line of ball hockey design equipment. Take your game to the next level with Bauer. Bauer is proud to be the title sponsor and official ball of
All right, here we are. Our final game of the weekend of champs, the culminating tournament for the All Ontario Cup. As we have our matchup between BDB and the Sarnia Beavers.
Sarnia Beavers are in red and the BDB is in blue. BDB is going left to right while the Sarnia Beavers are going right to left. Just waiting on a timekeeper who just played net. And, Brandon Bruni in our last game. He's the championship goaltender for the Bulldawgs.
Draw goes to the Sarnia Beavers as Van Ryan came in off the wing, unable to make the connection. Miller takes the shot, and Lagerstrom makes the save as he was out. Van Ryan came in. Smart play by unable to make the connection. Miller takes the shot. Seen Miller with a big shot all weekend. Lagerstrom is actually an open-rated player as an out player, but in order for him to play rec, as his team does have a number of intermediate, the maximum 3 intermediate players playing, he is their goaltender in the tournament. Shot knocked out of the air by Kelly, and Lagerstrom able to find that. Players playing, he is their goaltender whistle in the tournament. Beavers shot knocked out of the air by Kelly. Changed 32 seconds into the game. Folsom in to take the draw for BDB. Wins that back to Miller. Miller gets the shot, has it deflected and out of play. Gilchrist to Miller. Miller looks across to Kelly. Kelly gives chase. Johnson looked to make the connection with Rory B. Chase. Johnson looked to make the connection with ball around to Bourgeois. Bourgeois curls back into his own end. Chipped up by Scott. Schramm puts it in, and Evan makes the save. Able to hold that, get the whistle. Face-off going to come down to the BDB end to the left of the goaltender. Bourgeois looks to square off against Gerard in the face-off. Dylan Cole is actually back out trying to give this a go after the last game when we saw him go down with that nasty ankle injury that he suffered on a attempted wraparound. Ball played up the boards by Gerard. And Murphy continues in with speed. Gets the shot off, ends up off the backboards, and Lagerstrom decides he's going to jump on that. By Gerard. Take away any opportunity. Murphy continues in with speed. Murphy. 8:38 remaining in the first period. Draw comes back to Foster. Foster gets a shot in. Back to Petty Pass at the point. Petty Pass gets a shot off. Van Ryan got his stick in. It actually may have changed that the shot's direction on Lagerstrom as Petty Pass is able to put it in just inside the far post. Draw comes back to Lagerstrom. Foster gets a shot in. So as we can see, that Petty Pass at the point. Petty Pass from Van Ryan as he's trying to come back in and lend that defensive zone pressure on Petty Pass. Unable to do so. We have a 1-0 lead for back to Petty Pass at the point. Petty Pass gets a shot. 1 minute 40 seconds into the first period. Gerard in a battle with Schramm in the corner. Bit of a mash of players there, and the whistle is blown. BDB wanted that play to continue as they felt that Murphy was actually going to gain that possession and walk out, but the referee determined that play had been halted long enough, whistled, and we're going to reset. Staley in against Schramm. A save made by Lagerstrom. Nice pass by Horton as he saw Van Ryan springing down the floor. Staley takes the shot, has it deflected by Schramm and out of play. Sorry, not Schramm. I believe that might be Kuka. Back to Van Ryn. Van Ryn winds up, takes a shot, it goes wide. Chased down by number 9 for the Beavers. Horton tracks that down, has Petty Pass lending the defensive pressure on him. Petty Pass goes inside on Beauregard and unable to beat Lagerstrom, who once again was aggressive out of his crease, cutting down that angle, and probably surprising Petty Pass that he was there so quickly. Schramm into the corner against Miller. Schramm able to get that up to Van Ryn. He's going to let that shot go. Evan clears that into his own zone. Van Ryn curls out. Going to go back to Schramm. Deflected off a Petty Pass. Evan made 2 nice saves, just holding his butterfly position as a big goaltender that he is. Schramm with a shot. Evan did not see that coming in as it goes up and above over the net and out of danger. Petty Pass carries it out. Shot by Horton. Embry takes it back for BDB. Goes behind his own net. Out he comes with some speed. Gonna hold up. Lets that shot go. It goes wide of the cage. And found by Schramm off of Herner's stick. Herner's going to use his defensive partner, Embry. Embry looks up the floor, finds Miller. Miller to Folsom. Folsom over to Kelly. Has that deflected. Schramm able to find Schramm. In. Looked to go high. Glove side. Ended up going wide, I believe. Embry being pressured by Bourgeois. Embry has that deflected off his stick, ends up on Johnson's stick, gets a shot, has that saved. Embry just holding his feet there, not allowing that shot to get through, as Johnson had about 3 opportunities, just unable to get that through. Schramm up and around Folsom, the nice move, and offside, as I believe Schramm on the left side was just a little too eager. Embry being pressured by Bourgeois. Embry has that deflected off his stick, ends up on Johnson. With the save by Evan. Kelly has that deflected. Breakaway chance with Schramm. Schramm able to find Schramm. And he puts that just wide of the net. Look to go. That has us at our 1-0 score. 5:33 remaining in the first period. Horton found a man in front. Folsom being tracked down. Kelly chips it in. Folsom gives chase. Horton gains zone. Looks to go backhand. Hackborn finds Folsom up at the far blue line. Folsom tried to tuck that in the short side with a nifty little backhand, but Lagerstrom read that. Hackborn has that stolen. Horton pressured by Gilchrist. Horton to Bork. Bork takes the shot. Goes just wide of the net. Tough bounce off the boards for Evan, the goaltender. Van Ryn. Look back to Bork. Folsom giving chase. Kelly able to intercept that entry. Off the boards looking for Hackburn, who had speed, but Hackburn had to slow that down to remain onside. Gilchrist back up to Kelly. Kelly's going to chip that to Folsom. Folsom in. He has Miller wide open or back door. Able to get that pass to him, but it was just behind Miller, so he had to curl back, unable to get that shot. And off the bench with speed comes Foster. Miller with the shot, and Lagerstrom, nice shoulder save as he came out once again to challenge, cutting off that angle and deflecting it out of play. Looks to go backhand. Hackborn 1-0 as our lead Folsom up at the far blue line. Folsom tried to tuck that. Rec Division final here in the weekend of champs. The culminating tournament for the All-Ontario Cup, brought to you by Bauer. Embry has that deflected off his stick, ends up on Johnson. Gerard to take the face-off against Schramm. Bourgeois puts it back deep to Beauregard. Beauregard around, finds Johnson. Johnson back to Schramm. Schramm with a nice little move. Gets around Gerard, buys himself a bit of time. to Bourgeois. Bourgeois curls in across, puts that ball over to Schramm. Schramm had that go up off his stick. Ends up on the stick of Bourgeois. And gets a shot on that. Foster tried to make an inside move on Johnson. Johnson saw that coming, got his stick on it. Cole lends some support. Can't get the ball out himself. And Cole turns back the other way. And Lagerstrom is able to make that save. Hey. And with the beauty of technology, I've been informed that number 15 on BDB's roster, I had the incorrect name, and it's actually Derek Stockdale, not Matt Miller. The previous game, it had the number switched, name switched. Shout out to Jeff Bradbury on the assist there. Petty pass. The shot has that blocked by Schramm. Petty pass turns, shoots again, has that go wide. No ice as that ball skipped up and over Murphy. Van Ryan chases it in the corner, takes a look, has that intercepted by Petty pass. Petty pass coming through with speed, tries to go inside on Trim, gets through, has the opportunity, goes up top, but a nice save by Lagerstrom. Lagerstrom pass coming through with speed, tries to go inside on Trim, gets through, has the opportunity, goes up top, but a nice save by Lagerstrom. You'd think Marcus would want a little bit of credit for that. Our cameraman seems to be nodding off a little bit up there, or 1-0 is the score here. BDB up on the Sarnia Beavers. 2:27 remaining in the first period. Bork plays that up to Johnson. Johnson up to Bourgeois. Bourgeois with the shot, and Evan is able to just swallow that shot up and allow 0 remaining in the first period. Bork plays that up to Johnson. Johnson up to Bourgeois. Bourgeois with the shot, and Evan is able. Staley unable to push that ball forward for BDB. It ends up on Johnson's stick. He gets the shot, but it was blocked. They say that ball exited the zone, so Bork has to wait for his player to clear. Bork comes in, tries a backhand. Embry able to knock that away. Irving can't get that past Bourgeois, so Bourgeois carries it back into the zone. Bourgeois tries to center that pass. Herner takes it away. Miller comes up with speed. Miller across to Staley. Staley in behind the net. And Lagerstrom is just going to jump on that and hold it for a whistle. .121 remaining in the first period of a Rec Division final. And between top seed BDB in blue and the Sarnia Beavers in red. Saved by Lagerstrom off his head. Miller tracks down the rebound, puts a backhand across the crease. Unable to get that on net though. Staley found Miller, but they're unable to make the connection with Irving. Sorry if we had a bit of a delay in the commentary there. I wasn't sure if that ball was going to ricochet into our commentating booth or not. 1 minute left in the first period. Folsom puts that forward, splits the D. Ball back up. Van Ryn gains zone. He's going to curl, and then comes back. Backhand. Takes a look, looking to go across to Horton. Horton Settles that down. Has Gilchrist all over him. Horton's curling back, looks across. Stockdale lends an assist, gets that deep. Folsom puts it up ahead to Stockdale. Stockdale chasing down in the corner. Beauregard up to Schramm. Schramm had his head up and missed that ball as it rolled past him. 2-on-1. Kelly over to Stockdale. Kelly makes a nifty move, made Lagerstrom commit, and puts it over to Stockdale, who finished as that for the big second goal with only 15 seconds remaining in this period. Had his head up and missed that ball as it rolled past him. Replay. 2-on-1. Folsom's able to find Kelly wide. Over to Stockdale. Kelly makes a nifty move. Looked like he was going to deke. Made Lagerstrom commit. Passes it across crease, and the defender, Beauregard, unable to get a stick on it. Stockdale had a wide open net. Shot in by Johnson. It goes to the backboards, and Evans able to jump on that ball as it was coming back out. 7.3 seconds left in the first period. Folsom and Johnson are going to match up in the face-off. Scrambled draw. Kelly chips that pass to the defender. Kelly's a one-on-one against Bork. Kelly stops, shoots, and the horn goes to end the first period. So following one period of play, the bar down Billionaires out of Brantford, a lot of B's there, are up 2-0 on Sarnia Beavers. The high scoring chances have really been in favor of BDB. Lagerstrom has made some nice saves to keep his team in this game. Sarnia Beavers have had possession in the game. They just haven't been able to put the same sort of quality chances together as the BDB squad has. So we'll see if that changes here, because it's not possession is a big part of the game. So had his head up and missed that ball as it rolled around and get some quality 2-on-1. Kelly easily find over to Stockdale. Kelly makes a nifty move. Momentum. Folsom and Schramm in on the faceoff, so I don't know if Schramm has now moved up to forward in this period, but he definitely is for the draw. Kelly comes back, lends an assistance. Stockdale chips it in. Puka over to Bork. Bork up to Schramm. Schramm over to Van Ryn. Van Ryn looks for Horton. Horton back to Van Ryn. Stolen, but big shot by Schramm as he gets that in the slot. And Van Ryn looks for Horton. Horton back to Van Ryn. Stolen, but big shot by Schramm is shot by Bork, goes wide of the net. Horton out front to Schramm. It's in his feet. Schramm took a couple whacks at that, but just couldn't stop the spin on that ball. Stockdale able to curl forehand out into the slot, get a good shot away, but there goes wide of the net. Van Ryn curls, has it blocked by Pettypass, and the whistle goes as the referee determined that the ball struck the plexiglass at the timekeeper's box, which is out of play here at BHI. 9:08 remaining in the second period. 2-0 is the lead for BDB. Foster chips that up. Van Ryn makes the interception. Kelly to Stockdale to Folsom. Folsom settles it down. Tries to slide that over. And ends up on Kelly's stick right in the slot. And Lagerstrom comes out in a nice butterfly position. Able to make the save. Dive on it. And the whistle. Gerard leans in for the faceoff for BDB, wins it back, sends it in. Shot taken by Murphy. Turned away by Lagerstrom. Gerard back behind the net for Cole. Cole tries to find Murphy in front, just unable to make that connection. Murphy sends that in deep, unable to get it to his teammate. Schramm receives a pass from Johnson. Tried to find a man in front, forced that pass, had it intercepted by Murphy, who tries to chip it in. Can't get it past Bourgeois though. Bourgeois had that deflected, ends up on Cole's stick. Cole looks to be running a lot better now after he's kind of worked off some of the cobwebs there, some of the pain in that ankle. Cole unable to get past Bourgeois. Bourgeois lending some good defensive zone play. Gerard over to Cole. Cole finds Murphy. Murphy's shot from the slot. Another grade A opportunity in the slot, turned away by Lagerstrom. Cole. Ball goes into the roof. Faceoff comes outside the Beavers zone. Both teams look to make changes. Staley to take the draw against Schramm. Staley BDB, Schramm for Beavers. Ball comes to Schramm. Schramm crosses the red line. Now he gains blue. Van Ryn, a little stutter move, gets that ball into Schramm, and Evans makes another big save. He's a big man in that net, and he has some quick feet as well. Horton, with possession in the slot, goes back to his backhand, gets that on net. Schramm, another shot that Evans is able to turn aside. Irving chips that in. He's against Bork in front. Schramm put that ball up to Horton. Horton across to Van Ryn. Van Ryn's going to let that shot go, and Evans turns that aside. Embry chips it up and over. Van Ryn to Miller. And there's a stoppage. Not sure what the call is. Must have been glove pass. Horton with possession in the slot, goes back to his backhand, gets that on net. Schramm, another face-off won by Staley. Back to Hackborn, up to Miller. Miller chips it in, off a stick, no icing. Kuka flips it up onto Miller. Miller is able to grab that out of the air though. And ball put up the floor by the Beavers, resulting in an ice. .6:23 to go in the second period. Schramm chips it past his defender. But Hackborn comes back and makes a good defensive play, getting his stick on the ball and sending that shot out of play. 6:23 to go in the second period. Schramm chips it past his defender. But Folsom leans in against Johnson. Hackborn with a almost a costly error with that pass, ended up on one of the Beavers' sticks in front of the net. But Evans is able to bail him out. Folsom comes back defensively. He gains possession. Shoots it in from the red line, and I believe that was that straight up and into the rafters. Here at Rink 2, BHI St. Catharines. Face-off is going to come just outside the Beavers zone. Folsom and Schramm to take the face-off. 5:54 remaining in the second period. 2-0 is the lead for BDB. 2 first period goals. Stockdale, one of the goal scorer, gains entry over to Folsom. Folsom's in the slot. Puts it back to Gilchrist. Gilchrist gets a shot off. And that was saved by Lagerstrom, but Kelly had position, knocked it in, and he was in behind Lagerstrom, knocked in, and sends it wide of the wide open cage. Hackborn unable to hold Van Ryn out of the zone as Van Ryn made a nifty little play. Gains zone, but he shoots it up and over the net. Resulting face-off will come outside the zone. At what point do you wonder if the size of Evans is starting to get into the head of some of these Beavers players, knowing that they have to make a perfect shot? Schramm himself has had probably 4 grade A opportunities in front on rebounds, but Evans has been able to get a quick pad out there or just maintain position and making them have to beat him with a perfect shot. And that just happened as Beauregard came in off of his point, received the pass from Horton, and goes blocker side high, post and in. Let's take a look at that in slow-mo. So Horton curls out of the corner. Takes a look, sees Beauregard. Beauregard comes in, shoots that. A lot of post. May have come back, hit Evans in the arm, and ends up in behind him. So we have a 2-1 game. Beauregard steps in, knocks that down, finds Horton. Horton tries to go to the same spot as the Beavers have Mr. Moe in their corner at this point. Back to Beauregard. Beauregard lets the shot go, ends up and over top of the net. Evans dives, take that away from Horton. Folsom able to get control, tries to get that to Stockdale, who is trailing the play, but couldn't get the angle. Stockdale shoots that. Beauregard's going to feel that block shot. And Van Ryn chases it down. Ball ends up on Horton's stick, and he's unable to solve. Evans. Lagerstrom up the floor. Folsom in around Bork. Lagerstrom came out for a bit of a journey outside his crease, but made a butterfly save in behind his goal line. Horton with possession, gains the blue line, and has that intercepted by Gerard. He came back on a good defensive back check. Gerard pressured by his man, unable to make a play. As that ball passed across, and Van Ryn found himself offside. It down. Ball ends up on Horton's stick, and he is unable to solve. Blanchard's in to take the draw against Gerard. Draw goes to Blanchard. Tipped out. That was Murphy trying to gain zone, unable to do so. Kuka into his own Cole now for BDB up the left wing. Cole's probably moving at about 3/4 speed of what he typically would after that injury in the semifinal. Pettypass took a shot, has that go off of Johnson, ends up going out of play. Faceoff will come outside the Beavers zone, but the zone is maintained by BDB. Floating blue line means that the offensive zone actually goes back to the red line once zone is gained, meaning the blue line. Blanchard comes in, takes a look out front, has that go to Schramm. Ball comes right back to Blanchard, and Blanchard tucks that in to tie this game at 2. Take a look at that replay here. In comes Schramm, puts it over to Blanchard. Blanchard slows up, takes a look out front, and you can see that as Evans went to find that ball, he anticipated that the ball was coming back to Schramm in front of the net, and it ended up deflecting off of Schramm over to Blanchard, who ends up allowing himself to tuck it in short side on the goaltender. And we have a 2-2 game in our Rec Division Finals here at a Weekend of Champs in BHI St. Catharines. Van Ryan walks in and gets a shot away. Turned aside by Evans. Embry for BDB. Looks to slow that down and put it off of the glass. He was looking for Staley. So the faceoff's going to come down into the BDB zone, right of their goaltender. Faceoff comes back to Beauregard. Beauregard has that blocked by Irving, who came out aggressively. Staley unable to make connection with that. Miller just backhands it in right on Lagerstrom, who's going to hold that for the whistle. 2:19 remaining in the second period. Faceoff coming to the left of the Beavers goal. Staley leans in against Schramm. Irving chases down Bourgeois. Staley gets that ball in front, but Lagerstrom's able to glove that and gets the save. Take a look at that replay here. Ball Staley up, gets the ball in front, but Lagerstrom's able to glove that. Again aggressively comes out, able to glove that. Staley being guarded by Bourgeois. Bourgeois comes around the net with speed. Horton chips it up past Hernan. Herner passes it over to Irving. Irving with a shot, and Lagerstrom looks at it and makes the save. Lagerstrom has to drop that, but Embry makes a nice defensive play as Van Ryan tried to go one-on-one against him. Staley gets the shot off, and Lagerstrom makes the save. Gloves that up high and holds on for the whistle. Minute 27 left in the second period. 2-2 tie in our Rec Division Championship game at the Weekend of Champs culminating tournament for the All-Ontario Cup, brought to you by Bauer. Winning team will receive customized matching team rings, provided by Jostens. Schramm able to muscle that out. Looks across for Johnson. Johnson gets a shot and scores. And scores. And just caught the end of that scoring opportunity, or that goal. And the goal scored by number 8, Johnson, for the Beavers. So the Beavers now have the lead. And we have a high stick resulting in a penalty as Blanchard made contact with Kelly. Referees going over to take a look to see if there's blood. And on the replay, you can see here that Blanchard's stick clearly does come up and make contact with the player. Blanchard was trying to plead his case, saying that it was Kelly's stick that made contact. But as you see here in the replay, we'll take a look at that one more time. As we're coming to the middle of the floor, you can see in gray, number 13, Blanchard, his stick does come up and strikes Kelly right in the face, resulting in 5-minute major. 1 minute left in the second period. Ball comes back, Petty pass, back to Gilchrist. Gilchrist looked to find Petty pass. Comes around the net, Folsom looks. Puts that over. to Petty pass. Waiting for an opportunity. Folsom forces that in front. And the ball ends up on Hackborn's stick, and Hackborn is able to put that in the open net and ties the game 3-3, 30.7 seconds left in the second period. 4 minutes and 26 seconds left in the power play. Opportunity. Folsom forces that in front, and the ball ends up on Hackborn's stick, and Hackborn. Schramm wins that face-off back. Folsom gains the line, gets the shot off, goes wide of the net, on to Gilchrist's stick. Gilchrist takes a shot, has that blocked by Schramm. Schramm fields that one. Stockdale with a big shot himself, and Lagerstrom makes the save and puts it into the corner. Folsom in, battling. Van Ryan is just going to clear that ball down the floor. And our second period has come to a conclusion. And we have a 3-3 tie with 3 minutes and 56 seconds left in that 5-minute major for the high stick. In our Rec Division Championship game between BDB and the Sarnia Beavers. Face-off goes back to Gilchrist. Gilchrist over to Hackborn. Hackborn up to Gerard. Has that ball go in deep. Bork going to go behind the net. Tries to clear it. Gilchrist goes up, gets that ball, puts it off the backboards though. Stockdale back to Gilchrist. Gilchrist winds up, takes the shot. Has it deflected. Petty pass. With the pass up to Stockdale. Stockdale takes a look for Hackborn, who's cutting in from his defensive position. Van Ryan curls back, looking to clear that ball, able this time to get it up and over Stockdale, who comes back to the defensive zone. 9:20 remaining in the third period, 3:14 left in the 5-minute advantage on the high stick and major. Stockdale gathers the ball. Up to Folsom. Folsom fakes the shot. Nice pass, nice entry pass up to Petty pass. And Petty pass is heading out of the zone. Nice pass, nice entry pass up to Petty pass. Struggling to get off the floor. 9:01 remaining in the third period. Face-off comes outside the zone. Ball comes to Embry. Embry over to Gilchrist. Gilchrist with a one-time shot from his blue line. Just misses the net. Stockdale unable to get that away from Schramm, but back to Stockdale. Stockdale takes time, takes a look, and fires that just wide. Van Ryan going to put that down the floor. Evans makes the save and puts it right on to Gilchrist stick, who puts it up to Embry. Embry up to Kelly. Kelly across to Gilchrist. Gilchrist is going to walk in, fakes the shot, puts it up to Folsom. Folsom loses the handle on that, puts it, flips it, has Bourgeois flip it up and over, and Gilchrist comes back for it over to Stockdale. Stockdale trying to make a play over to Gilchrist. Schramm able to intercept that. Embry chips it in, going to follow that ball, and Lagerstrom does it himself, clears it. Gilchrist going to wind up and fire. Has that blocked by Van Ryan. Gilchrist chips it up to Folsom. Up to Embry. Over to Kelly. Kelly just almost danced around Horton, but Horton made a nice recovery, able to spin back and get that ball. Ball comes back to Embry at the point. Embry's taking a look over to Gilchrist. Gilchrist finds Kelly, finds Gerard back at the back door. Gerard has that blocked. Goes back to Embry. Embry winds up, takes a shot. Has that blocked. Gerard. Back to Embry. Embry over to Gilchrist. Gilchrist tried to force that through to Gerard. Had it deflected. Ends up on Kelly's stick. Bourgeois chasing down in his defensive corner. Has Gerard all over him. Ball's played up the red line, but Gilchrist keeps it in. Fires that. Lagerstrom made the save, and Gerard cannot put that rebound in. Minute 5 left in the power play. Looking for a Folsom backdoor, unable to make that connection. Horton comes out with speed, looking to gain some valuable time for his team. 54 seconds left on this power play, and Horton just killed about 20 seconds himself. Embry, 45 seconds remaining on the power play, 6:45 remaining in the third period. Up to Folsom. Folsom takes his shot, has that deflected by Beauregard. Beauregard muscles Folsom off the ball. Schramm able to get that deep. Evans passes it up. Gets it to Herner. Herner unable to get that pass. Beauregard stick. Beauregard pressuring Herner. Herner comes back. Up to Folsom. Folsom makes a move at the line to get around Schramm, but Schramm gets that ball off of Folsom's stick. Kuka able to send that down the floor. 7 seconds remaining in the 5-minute major. Embry carries it up. 1 second left, and that power play has been killed. 1 goal by BDB early on in the power play to bring this game to a 3-3 tie. But one and only one, as that was a pretty good kill by the Beavers. Ball squirted loose to Folsom, wide open in the slot. He lets go of a slap shot, 3-3 and tie. I don't know where this went. But one and only one, as that was a pretty good kill by the Beavers. We'll give credit to Lagerstrom on that one, as he was able to be in the butterfly, hop up, get back out front, and square up and make a save. 5 minutes and 51 seconds remaining here in a 3-3 tie in our Weekend of Champs final in the Rec Division between BDB and the Sarnia Beavers. Van Ryan slows it down. As Echo off his stick, petty pass in a battle with Bork, not able to secure that. Van Ryan puts a hard shot down on Evans, who is just going to hold that, get the whistle. With 5:34 remaining in the third period. 3-3 is our score. Petty pass is going to lean in against Schramm on this draw. Scramble draw. Goes to the Beavers. Van Ryan takes a shot. Able to find that was Evans. Horton against Herner. Horton tries to go back in the cycle, but Embry's the first there. Beauregard unable to keep that line. Being chased down by Stockdale. Beauregard goes around to his partner. Up to Van Ryan. Van Ryan finds himself wide open and goes high glove side over top of the net. Horton has that taken by Herner. Herner just dumps that in. Lagerstrom tries to play that ahead, and Murphy took a swipe at it as Lagerstrom sort of fanned on that clearing and dumps that in. Lagerstrom tries to play that ahead, and able to recover. Murph and makes the save off of Murphy. Holds it. 4:52 remaining in the third period. Lagerstrom tries to play that ahead. Champs, and brought to you by Bauer. Petty pass loses that draw to Johnson. Johnson the Beavers are able to get that out. Hackborn comes back behind his net. Takes a look. Coming out with speed. Uses the boards. Puts that up to Irving. Irving in a battle with Bork. Irving to Stockdale in the slot. Stockdale can't settle that down. Ball's deflected, and it's going to come outside, as they're saying that the BDB player was the last to touch it. Stockdale will lean in in the draw against Johnson. Schramm pushes that ahead. Ball out to Stockdale. Stockdale able to enter the zone. Puts that across to Miller. Miller able to glove that down to his stick and put a backhand on net. Hackborn stepped in, put the ball towards the net. Irving finds that bouncing ball and put it just wide. Foster over to Hackburn. Hackburn takes a look up the boards. Bork stepped in, but is still offside. Wholesale changes it for BDB, and it looks like a new complement of forwards are coming on for the Beavers, and actually one defenseman as well. Draw one by Schramm, too cleanly though. Bourgeois over to Beauregard. Beauregard takes a look. He's going to take that shot as he crosses his own blue line. That gave Evans trouble. Beauregard does have a good shot. 3:39 remaining in the third period, and we have a 3-3 tie. Almost a perfect set of threes up there on that scoreboard. Kelly wins that back. Embry gonna put it back to his partner Gilchrist. Gilchrist takes a look, puts it up, finds Folsom. Folsom's gonna go back to Gilchrist. You see this a lot from BDB. They like to wait until they have an odd man opportunity. But this time Van Ryan intercepts the pass and tried to put that across to his teammate Horton, unable to make the connection. Folsom tries to find his man cutting through the middle, unable to do so. Schramm intercepts that clearing attempt by Gilchrist. Shot goes off of Embry, and Evans able to reach back and make a beautiful save. Kelly up to Gilchrist. Gilchrist chips is just going to send that in from past his blue line, so no icing on the play. Folsom steps in front of Van Ryan. Folsom gains line, puts it back to Gilchrist. Gilchrist walks in, finds Kelly with a one-timer. A big save by Lagerstrom to follow that play. Stockdale looking in front, tried to connect with Kelly, unable to do so. Kelly looking to reverse that. Battle between Kelly and Bourgeois in the corner. Ball comes to Beauregard. Beauregard's just going to clear that and get the ice. 2:22 remaining in the third period. 3-3 tie. Kelly and Bourgeois in the corner. Ball comes to Beauregard. Beauregard's just going to clear that and get the ice. 2:22 remaining in the third period. 3-3 tie between BDB and Sarnia Beavers. In the third period of our men's rec championship game. This one's for all the marbles. Crown yourselves as the 2015 champions of the All-Ontario Cup. Shot on net by Kelly. Turned away by Lagerstrom. Schramm comes back to corral it. Schramm unable to connect with one of his teammates. Schramm finds that ball back on his stick. Able to get to Van Ryan. Van Ryan can't get around Embry. Kelly chips it into himself. Lagerstrom once again is aggressively out of his net. He's at the bottom of the circle making that save. There's no way Kelly thought that the goaltender would chips be right into himself. Lagerstrom once again is aggressively out of his. One minute 45 seconds left in the third period here. Our 3-3 tie, BDB versus Sarnia Beavers. Folsom and Johnson in on the face-off. Folsom able to gain control. Puts that out. Stockdale had it on his stick, but Bourgeois was able to get a stick in defensively and knock it away right before he let that go from a dangerous position. Herner back up to Stockdale. Stockdale looks across, finds Folsom. Folsom pulls it back. Going to get that shot off, and Lagerstrom wasn't sure where it was, but it was between his pads, and he squeezed it tight. Stockdale looks across, finds Folsom. Folsom pulls it back. He's going to get that shot off, and Lagerstrom wasn't sure where it was. Folsom's going to square off against Schramm on this face-off. Minute 25 left in the third period. Schramm able to come away with the win on that. Puts it back to his D. Hackborn keeps it in. Bourgeois up the boards to Schramm. And we have an ice. Schramm, I guess, was unable to make any contact with that ball. Minute 11 left in the third period. Stockdale in on the draw with Schramm. Unable to get that to Kelly. Ball was stolen. And Foster put that shot in just wide of the net. Lagerstrom played the bounce and covered it up. 58.1 seconds left. And face off to the right of the Beavers goaltender. 3-3 tie. Timeout. BDB. They want to discuss this. So if you were watching our last game, the barn finals, which went into overtime, the overtime format for the championship games is continuous 10-minute run time, sudden victory. For those of you who are watching our semifinal matchup between the Punishers and the Reapers, you saw that the semifinals actually run in a different format. They have a 5-minute overtime period followed by a 3 versus 3 shootout. However, in the championship games, we do have the 10-minute continuous overtime. Longest overtime we had this year was in a finals at the April Fools tournament in BHI London. The championship game between the Reapers and Throwbacks in their intermediate division actually went 4 overtime periods. So it was almost a total of 7 periods before the Reapers were able to win the game. Ball shot by Van Ryn results in an icing. 49.2 seconds left in the third. Face-off coming to the left of the Beavers' goal. Kelly against Schramm. Draws one clean by BDB, but out of the zone as they're unable to make any connection. Hackburn tried to spring him in, and icing was the result. 41.9 draws one left clean by BDB, but out of the zone as they're unable to make any connection. Draw comes down to the BDB end to the right of the goal. Kelly squaring off against Schramm. Scrambled draw. Kelly chops that off the boards. Van Ryn gives chase against Gilchrist. Gilchrist off the boards again. Kept him. Stockdale trying to gain possession of the ball, unable to. Van Ryn has that ball taken by Gilchrist, who put it over to Petty Pass. Petty Pass let a slap shot go from the middle of the rink, from the face-off dot in the center of the rink, and beat Lagerstrom low to the blocker side. Van Ryn has that ball taken. Gilchrist finds Petty Pass. Petty Pass winds up by Gilchrist, who put it over to came out to challenge it. I have a feeling that ball had some curl on it and was able to curl just inside the post. Able to. Van Ryn. That's a tough goal for Lagerstrom. Has that ball taken by Gilchrist, who put it over to fantastic in this game. But as happens in ball hockey, the ball does move. Either has some English on it when it's in the air. If there's any spin on it, it will curl on you. .26.8 seconds left in the third period. Our score is 4 BDB, 3 Sarnia Beavers. Beavers have decided to come out, and they're not going to wait. So they have 6 players on the floor looking to tie this game. Van Ryn with a shot goes wide of the net. Gilchrist chips it up the boards. Gerard going to dump that deep in a race with Van Ryn. Gerard's holding that ball in deep. Schramm and Van Ryn able to win that ball, but Kelly gets that ball and shoots, and that's the insurance marker. The empty netter puts this game to 5-3 with 5 seconds left. Van Ryn able to win that ball. Gerard down low, ends up on that ball and shoots. Kelly takes that shot and seals the deal. I believe that the Beavers may be just conceding this last 5 seconds, and they have. BDB are your men's rec champions of the 2015 All-Ontario Cup, winning the Weekend of Champs in a great matchup between the Sarnia Beavers. Got to give credit to both teams. They both played extremely strong today. It was a very tight matchup. Great goaltending on both sides. Lagerstrom should not hang his head on that. He played fantastic to keep his team in this. Evans, the same, was definitely in the heads of the shooters on the Beavers throughout this game. And it was just a really good game to watch. So congrats to both teams. And a well-earned win by BDB in the Men's Rec Championship game. Thank you for watching with us. Thanks to my cameraman extraordinaire, Noah Anderson, and my producer, Jess Bradshaw. I'm Chad Asselstein with Stick Skills. Thank you, and take care.